Hi, today I'm going to do a warm coral look. Now coral's a really big trend for this spring and also going into the summer, and it's something that suits most people. Coral, sort of pinky, orangey tones, peachy, that they're universally kind of suit everybody. There are different sort of types of tones that suit different skin types. If you're very, very pale, then the really soft peaches and coral tones are nicer, and the darker skin you have, the more sort of reddy, orangey, more sort of luscious and juicy kind of corals suit you. So I'm going to start with, I've done my base already. I use the Christian Dior Nude, which is the Natural Glow Hydrating Foundation, and I love this foundation. I've used it a few times before and it gives a really good coverage, but it's quite natural looking. I've also used some concealer and a little bit of powder, not too much, just on the centre. And then I've done some quite dark brows. They probably look a bit stark and a bit in your face at the moment, but when the makeup comes together, hopefully you'll see what the thinking behind that was. And I used the Brows A Go-Go palette by Benefit, and I just wanted to give some strength really to the makeup, because lots of peaches and coral, sometimes they can get a little bit washed out, which is, that's the look you're going for, like a pastely look, that's fine, but I wanted to make it quite a strong statementy look. Okay, I'm going to start by using Painterly, which is one of the paint pots by MAC, as a base, and I just want to use this because the peachy colour I'm going to use next, which is a powder, I just want something that's quite pale on my lid that can really attach itself to. While I'm doing this, I'll just say that my nails are, it's an Essie colour and it's called Cute as a Button. Now I'm going to use one of the Christian Dior 5 colour palettes, and this is called Beige Masai. It's a really nice palette because on one side it's got loads of neutrals that you can kind of use every day, and on this side it's got really lovely lighter coral and very deep coral, so you can do quite a lot with it. So to start with, just using a MAC sponge applicator and the paler shade, I just want to lay down some of that really peachy lighter coral there onto the lid. This will all get blended out in a second. Okay, so now using a MAC 217 brush, I'm going to use the deeper shade. I'm just going to take most of it off on the back of my hand and give a little bit of definition into the socket line there, because I want it to be quite well defined. This is just introducing a little bit more of the corally feeling. At the same time, because it's sort of a rusty base to it, it's not getting too orangey, because I want to do quite corally cheeks and quite corally lips, and I think if you're going to do a corally look, you don't want everything to be bright coral eyes, lips and cheeks. Make sure your base isn't too orangey as well before you do this kind of look. I'm going to keep quite a warm base, but not too orangey, otherwise it all goes horribly wrong. I'm going to bring it out slightly at the outer corners. Just going to buff that. Slightly extended. Okay, now I'm going to use exactly the same colour, so the deep colour. I'm just going to use some water spray on a MAC 209 brush and just dipping in with it quite wet. So it's exactly the same colour that I've just used in the socket line, and I'm going to use this just to line along the lash line there, close to the lashes as you can. When I get to the end, now you're going to bring it out a fraction, then I'm going to start going underneath and bring that about 2/3 of the way along. It's going to be thicker towards the outer edge, top and bottom. then bringing it underneath. So it's going to be more smudged underneath than it is on the top. I'm leaving it really as a line on top. But underneath it's going to be a bit more blasted out. Now that I've finished those outer corners, I'm just going to use the shadow to extend up. Now I'm going to move on to lashes. I'm going to give them a good curl. Now I'm going to use this Bobbi Brown mascara, Extreme Party Mascara. I haven't used it before, but as you know, I like to use a different, at least 2 a week, just to try out what's around, because there's so many new ones coming on all the time, and I like to be on top of the whole situation. So I'm hoping this is going to be nice and lengthening and pretty. Well, it's very subtle. It's not my idea of party mascara. I like a lot, but this is a lovely mascara for day. Now I'm going to bring some warmth into my cheeks and my face. I'm going to use one of my favourite all-time bronzers, which is the Dior Collagen Active. I like this one because, well, it's matte and it's incredibly creamy. Sort of gives you a bit of coverage at the same time. I'm going to use a MAC 109, and I'm just going to use it sort of like a cross between contouring and blusher. So starting off sort of in a contoury movement, but bringing it very much onto the apples of the cheeks as well. I'm also going to take it softly up there, not too much, using a slightly softer brush. I'm just going to brush a little bit around those edges. I'm also going to use a small contouring brush. I'm just going to put a little bit in there of the same colour. Just bring a bit of warmth in. So sort of where that shading finishes. Right, next I'm going to use blusher. I'm going to use Benefit Coralista, which is kind of like a highlighter as well. And then just smiling. I want most of it to be just nicely on the apples of the cheeks. And that's nice because it's got a lovely shimmer in. It's giving me a little bit of a highlightery effect there on the top of the cheekbones as well. Next I'm going to use lipstick, and it's a Rimmel number 600 called Soft Coral, and again it's got that really nice shimmery vibe to it. It's that really pinky coral. Just going to apply straight from the bullet. Super moisturising. Got a horrible spot on my lip, by the way. Don't you hate spots on your lips? The worst, impossible to squeeze, or at least agony if you try. Okay, just to finish off, I'm just going to do a little something, a little touch of magic. It sort of needs something extra, I think, this makeup. I'm going to use Givenchy Paradise. It's a really cheesy name, but it's a really nice product. It's a liquid liner, and this is number 9. It's one of those that you sort of presume it's going to be like that, but it's actually got a hugely long lid. It's a beautiful shade. So I'm just gonna put it on in that inner corner, just give it a little blend in. So that's it, that's my coral look for today. I think it does work well with a stronger brow. It just makes it a little bit more, gives it a bit more impact, and that's it. And I hope you found it interesting. I hope it was helpful, and thanks for watching.